Hey guys, it's Diana again. Um, we did a garlic, and so now we're gonna do an apple. So I'm gonna show you how I got it set up, and I'll explain it to you. Just light right up here for you. A little extra light on the subject. Um, Here's the garlic that I did on this side. I'm just gonna cover up so it's not distracting. Here's the apple. Hopefully you can see both. Now see how I got, it's just the light standing up. And I got it so there's like a shadow. I wanted a little shadow. There's like, I got a glass thing underneath here, palette. So I kind of wanted to set it right here. Now you can like do the lighter side, or you could do the darker red. But I kind of like the lighter side. I liked one, I got one with a stem on it. And you can see, you could change the light and change the shadow depending on where you put the light. So I'm gonna leave it regular. I kind of did a little closer so you have a lot of light on it. But I got this nice little shadow on the back because we're gonna work with lights and shadows. It's a lot better when you have a few shadows in there because you can play with the colors a little bit. Now, this time instead of using my pencil, I'm going to use my small round brush. Got a little paper towel. And I'm going to start with, oh, where's my palette? I'm actually going to start with, I got the same palette we had. The green, the white, the yellow ochre, the burnt red. Now, I want a little more bright yellow and some type of red. I'm thinking that like a medium or a crimson or lizard crimson. Something on the dark side, a little red. That's good. Same thing, a little bit of blue will pick up some of this red. It'll look almost violet-like. That might actually work. And then you could actually use some alizarin crimson. See how this one's a little dark? Look at that. Do you see the slightly violet base? Can you guys look in this? It has a slightly more violet base than the other red. That's what's in here. So between those two, the yellow ochre, the white, a little black. I need a little green for the shadow because that's what the shadow would have, green in it. And maybe just a touch of a little brighter yellow. This is like a lemon yellow. It's medium to light yellow. Get on there. Just a little bit to punch it up. So I got a yellow, a burnt sienna, ochre, white, a little black, a little green, two types of reds. Mostly I'm looking at this red right here. All right, so I'm going to take my yellow ochre because it's kind of neutral. And I'm just going to kind of sketch out my apple. Now this has got a white background. So, because I didn't put any color underneath it. I could have done the black, I could do lots of other colors, but I'm going to keep it red and white. So I'm just going to kind of throw in the basic shape of my apple. Now you can do it true to size, you can do it a little bigger. This is kind of perfect little apple actually. See the shadow, if you look at it, not only goes here, but it also falls right underneath it. And there's like a shadow right in this area, and it's really bright in that area. So be aware of that. And right, it's not like the apple, in my perspective, you're getting it down, I'm getting it more straight across. There's, you can see where the apple dips down for the stem. So I'm going to kind of just like do this little starfish thing here, knowing my stem's going to go right there. Alright, and then I'm going to take the same color and I'm just going to kind of figure out where my shadow is, get it started right here. About halfway is right here. I'm going to take it right out. So here is my shadow. And this comes in shadow right here too. So I'm going to kind of darken some of this up It's like a coloring book. You're trying to follow. I'll do some back and forth where the darkness is. Now you can do an entire painting monochromatic, all one color. You probably did something similar in high school when you were learning how to draw. You could do this whole painting just in this, the whole basis of it. You're just looking for lights and darks is what you're doing. It's darker over here. It kind of follow the subject. There's like a hump all the way around the top of the apple. You're kind of following that by doing the shape of it. A little more water, the brush is drying out. Your little dry brush there, which is fine. So I'm kind of just following the shape a little bit. Go this way, go that way, go this way. There's some shadow right in here. More shadow right in there. So now you're going to use the color to define the shape of the apple. So I'm going to start dark to light. I'm going to actually kind of start in the back part. I'm going to use that alizarin crimson. This one's in another line. It's Loft, Artist Loft. A little bit of that. That is Michael's brand. And I'm going to kind of start darkening this apple right up here, right at this top part. I'm just putting it in. This gets greener and browner as it goes down in, but I'm just going to get all the really super red parts right now. I can add a little color as I go. The color is defining this, just like anything with the garlic, different sections. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's different variations in colors and shades. There's a little piece right here, it's kind of dark, so I'm going to kind of bring that up. I see that dark section right here too, this shadow we have going. Almost like a reflection. You can almost see, if the tablecloth had a different color, it'd be shining at, it'd be that color of this would be on the side there, because there's like that. I told you when the light hits this paper towel and it's actually reflecting onto the apple. Alright, so I'm going to take this burnt sienna color. It's like an orangey reddish. And I'm going to add this red to it. The more redder red. This is more like a red cad. They call it crimson. That's not really. I think it's more of an orangey red. And I'm going to kind of, there's one going this way a little bit. There's different shades of red and yellow in here, so I'm going to leave some spots out. There's some down in here, that orangey red. I'm going to kind of bring it right in here, kind of put it right up the side of it. There's some coming right up into here. More water. Let's make a little bit more of that burnt sienna and this lighter red, orangey red. Or I would say that's a cad red. It says crimson. It's the Artist Loft. To me, it looks a little more orangey, whereas this one looks a little more violet. Now up here, it's starting to get orangey, so I'm going to use my burnt sienna and some yellow ochre. It's starting to get like an orange shade. And you can tell if you're pretty close, and you could use other colors and get similar shades. And just you want to kind of just put it right there and see if you got it pretty close by just putting it right up against the. Oh, that looks a little too yellow. I need like a brighter yellow. Let's do let's do the yellow and the burnt sienna. That might look a little better. Let's see. Oh, I still think I can go just a tad lighter. tad lighter. Yeah, right up here it's really yellow. The apple streaks are really in the yellow side. There you go. That's better. Maybe even just a tad yellow right over the top of it. There you go. Now I'm going to blend it right down into this color here. Blend it right down in there. So it's nice and orangey yellow right in here. Following the shape of the subject. Now I'm going to take that burnt sienna by itself, and I'm going to start blending it into these purpley reds. Every now and then I'm going to pick up some of that purpley red too and blend it right in. This has like streaks too, almost like the garlic. Keep picking up that burnt sienna and blending it in with the red. This is just a dark layer. You're going to lighten as you go. Dark to light, dark to light. Now I'm getting like this, that, I got yellow ochre. It's more of that burnt sienna. I'm still seeing like this orangey shade, maybe some yellow. Like this orangey shade right in here. A lot of that red though, a lot of this alizarin crimson, so I'm going to kind of make sure I get some of this red in there. A big chunk of red right here too, the alizarin crimson. Up on this corner, on this corner. Trying to make sure I always follow the shape here too. There's a big chunk of that dark. Now what's the opposite of red on the color wheel? Green. So to get this shadow, I need to add a little green there. It looks a little weird, but it works. Alizarin crimson and that like sap green. It gives it this really neutral reddish green color. And that should get this nice shadow on this side. This comes over with light on it on the top of this bump. Then in a round sort of shape, it kind of starts darkening up right here. And I'll just kind of bring it all the way over. Don't be afraid of it. Go right ahead. Be brave. And then I can start putting in a little more of the direct red that we had there, the two reds mixed. I'm going to kind of just blend those in. That's my shadow. It's my shadow. Now more of that shadow is like towards the bottom, so I'm going to do that green and red again, right on this corner. And there's actually some of that down in this hole. Not so much light right in here. On this side, because the hump's up here, there's light on it, but down in there, there's not. Now the light is hitting right here because the light's going right there. You're kind of looking at it. Once you learn your colors, you're kind of looking at where the light is hitting and what colors it's causing. It is causing things. The light is doing things. And there's a little more green down in that hole there. The green and the yellow ochre will give you this color down inside. I'll put that stem in when I get almost done here. And same thing, I'm kind of trying to follow the shapes of the subject. I'm adding some of that green in that I had on here, right around the edges here, just to give it some more shape. Then I'll go over it with a little bit of the reds again. A little more reds in here. There's a big red streak right here. I have to have that, but I kind of like it. And then there's some of those more of those yellowy oranges again. Burnt sienna, a little yellow ochre, a little of the bright yellow. And you get some, right down in here there's a few of the brighter yellows. Just a few. And then I'm going to add that neutral color again, the red and the green. Cancel each other out. There's a little bit down this area. I'm kind of going back and forth here. And there's like some right in here, a little shadow. A little shadow here. There's like this, on this bump, there's a little shadow. Right on this bump. But there's also light, which we're going to put right over the top of it. Now I'm going to take this red and green, and I'm going to make this shadow right here, and that's going to define this much better. It goes all the way around to this shadow. I'm going to go right in there, and I'm going to do that. Need more water. Hey, this is good exercise for me. I've been needing to do this. These are great little exercises. You know, you might want to just watch them a few times. Maybe try 1 or 2 parts of it. Don't get discouraged. I've been doing this 38 years. And even I'm looking at parts that's going, it's been a while since I did this. So, just kind of watch it a few times. Don't freak out. I add a little green to this, a little more green. Add in a little more green. Don't freak out. Some more rounded. Make sure that's more rounded. A different line. Alright, so now, like I told you, there's some light on this one side. I'm going to take that yellow ochre, this yellow, a little white, a little bit of this yellow ochre, a little white. Yeah, I want like some orangey color, so I think I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that sienna, make this a little darker. And there's a little bit of a reflection right in here. Not a lot, just a little. And then it kind of comes in through here. You want to see a definition here. I'm going to kind of pull that out. Darken it up a little bit. That red and, oops, that red and green again. A little green in there. That counteracts that red a little bit. Okay, so now let's start lightening it up a little bit. I'm going to pick up white and yellow, a little burnt sienna, a little bit of tan, a lot of white. Start lightening this side up a little bit. Right up here. Just a touch here and there. There's a little lightness right in here too. A little bit in here, up on this edge. Right down in the middle there, right down in there. Alright. A little more red here and there. I just feel like it should be a little more redder, so I'm going to kind of just do where I feel like it now. I copied everything I can copy, so I need a little more redder here and there, and I'm going to do that. There's also, like in this apple, there's little pockets of yellow. Like just the tiniest bits here and there. You don't have to do everyone, but if you want to do a few dots, you can do that. Kind of big. A few of them. But apple does have these little knots sometimes. These little points of color, little, I don't know what you would call them. Some of these are a little too much, so I'll just take them out. I'll leave some of the other ones though. And then I'm going to do me a stem. I'm going to do the green and a little yellow ochre. Probably should use a small brush. I'm going to get my rigger out. I'm going to use the green and the yellow ochre, a little water. I'm going to kind of, a little wet, make sure it's not too wet. Yellow, yellow ochre, a little green. It's pretty close. Yellow. Now I'm going to make me a stem. Extends just beyond the apple. Kind of straight. A little roundness up here in the top. And I'm going to put a little lightness on that, a little white yellow. A little weight on that. Right where the light hits this side right here. A little yellow here. I feel like this needs to be a little more red right here, so we can do that. Whoever you want. Now you're just playing a little bit. Use your own eye, not just the apple. I like this orangey color right here with the yellow too. It might a little brightness in here. A little brightness in here. A little more yellow in there. A little more lightness in here, I think. Be afraid of it. All right, so I think you get the idea. Basically, I'm gonna probably do something every week, and it'll be archived. So it's gonna be these two. All right, guys. So I hope you got something out of that. Got any questions? You can always ask me. I'm just gonna use my pencil. Sign it. All right, so I'll see you guys in a bit, and I hope you enjoyed my my little study.